Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Senator Boni, I ordered you to take the seat. Now, honorable senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon of a delegation from the Ministry of Justice of the Republic of Namibia. The delegation is in the Senate for a benchmarking visit. I request each member of the delegation to stand when called out so that you may be acknowledged in the Senate tradition. Ms. Felicity Owases, Chief Legislative Drafter. Ms. Naomi Angula, Deputy Chief Legislative Drafter. Now, honorable senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them. And on behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I will request the majority whip to welcome the guests under 1 minute.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's a privilege for me to welcome the young women from Namibia, and I'm truly impressed. African women are coming of age, but the delegation is composed of only women. It is so nice. Kenyans must learn from this, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, these are very exciting times because up north, Kamala Harris is about to become the president of the United States of America. Good women, go and take care of our men in Namibia, but please don't sit on them the way women in Kenya sit on Kenyan men. Mr. Speaker.
Next order, clerk.
Order number 3, messages.
Order, Senator Sheki and Senator Tobiko, you may take your seats, please. Honorable Senators, I wish to report to the Senate that I have, pursuant to Standing Order 46.3, received the following message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the decision of the National Assembly on the Senate amendments to the National Rating Bill, National Assembly Bills number 55 of 2022. The message, dated Wednesday, the 24th of July 2024, was received in the office of the Clerk of the Senate on the same date. Now, pursuant to Standing Order 46.4, I will now proceed to report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41.1 and 148B, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas, on 11th of October 2023, the National Assembly passed the National Rating Bill, National Assembly Bills number 55 of 2022, with amendments, and thereafter referred it to the Senate for consideration in accordance with Article 110(4) of the Constitution. And whereas on the 9th of May 2024, the Senate considered and passed the said bill with further amendments and referred it back to the National Assembly for consideration. Further, whereas on the 12th of June 2024, the National Assembly considered and rejected the Senate's amendments to the bill, the effect of which the bill is referred to a mediation committee in accordance with the provisions of Article 112(2)(b) of the Constitution. Now, therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 112 of the Constitution and Standing Order 41(1) and 148(b), I hereby convey the said decision of the National Assembly to the Senate and seek the appointment of 9 senators to a mediation committee to consider the bill in accordance with Article 113 of the Constitution. Now, honorable senators, consequent to the said decision, the Speaker of the National Assembly appointed the following members of the National Assembly to the mediation committee to consider the bill in accordance with Article 113 of the Constitution. The Honorable Joash Nyamoko MP, Honorable Jane Kihara MP, Honorable Joseph Lelimengit MP, Honorable Joseph Gitari MP, Honorable Matthias Robi MP, Honorable Paul Katana MP, Honorable Engineer Tadeus Nzambia MP, Honorable Zamzam Mohammed MP, and Honorable Fatuma Jeho MP. Honorable Senators, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 166(2) of the Senate, and in consultation with the Senate Majority Leader and the Senate Minority Leader, I will, at an appropriate time, appoint senators to the mediation committee. Kindly stand guided. Thank you. Next order, clerk.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
The Senate Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As a Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the Senate today, 30th July 2024. Report of the Select Committee on the Legislation on the consideration of the various sectoral instruments on land matters. 1. The physical and land use planning fees, amendments, regulations, legal notice number 72 of 2024. 2. The land amendments, regulations, legal notice number 74 of 2024. And 3, the Land Registration General Amendments Regulations Legal Notice number 77 of 2024. This is Chairperson, Select Committee on Registration. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, at the same time, Honorable Speaker, no, this is just a notice of motion. I think those are the papers I'm supposed to lay.
Next order, clerk.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
The Chairperson, Committee on Delegated Legislation.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give the notice of the following motion. That the Senate adopt the report of the Select Committee on Delegated Legislation on its consideration of the physical and the land use planning fees, amendments, regulations, legal notice number 72 of 2024, the land amendment regulations, legal notice number 74 of 2024, and the land registration general amendments, regulations, legal notice number 77 of 2024, arraigned on the table of the Senate on Tuesday, 30th July 2024, and that pursuant to Section 18 of the Statutory Instruments Act and standing under 195(4), the Senate resolved to annul 1. The physical and the land use planning fees, amendments, regulations, legal notice number 72 of 2024. 2. The land amendments, regulations, legal notice number 74 of 2024. And 3. The land registration general amendments, regulations, legal notice number 77 of 2024. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Chairperson, Select Committee on Delegated Legislation.
Next order, clerk.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to give notice of the following motion as well. That whereas the Committee on Delegated Legislation is established under Standing Order 195.1 of the Senate's Standing Orders and is mandated to scrutinize as instruments laid before the Senate, recording that on 2nd May 2024, the valuers, forms and fees amendments, rules 2024, legal notice number 69 of 2024, the survey amendments, regulations 2024, legal notice number 71 of 2024, and the land and education amendments, regulation number 2024, legal notice number 76 of 2024, were read in the Senate and referred to the Committee on Delegated Legislation for consideration and scrutiny pursuant to Section 12(1) of the Statutory Instruments Act Cap 22A and the Standing Order 195.3 of the Senate Standing Orders, noting that these statutory instruments seek to amend the valuers, forms and fees rules 1987, the survey regulations 1994, and the land adjudication regulations 1970 respectively, which pursuant to Section 21(1) of the Statutory Instruments Act expired. Further, noting that in course of considering the statutory instruments, the committee was informed that an order had been issued by the High Court in Machakos, petition number E002 of 2024, Innocent Musumbi Kimandhi versus the Attorney General and the National Assembly suspending the expiry of the statutory instruments contained the statutory instruments, exception from Section 2022, legal notice number 218 of 2022, further suspending the operations of Section 21(1) of the Statutory Instrument Act Cap 24. Appreciating that under Section 15(2) of the Statutory Instruments Act 2022A, the committee is required to make a report on the statutory instruments within the 28 days after the date of referral of the instruments by the Senate, and that with regard to the three statutory instruments, the time lapses on 30th July 2024. Further, appreciating that in light of the court order issued by the High Court in Machakos, the committee requires additional time in order to conclusively interrogate the matter and scrutinize the statutory instruments. Now, therefore, pursuant to Section 15(3) of the Statutory Instruments Act, Cap 2A, the Senate resolves to extend the timeline for consideration of the various forms and fees amendment rules 2024, legal notice number 9 of 20, the survey amendment regulation 2024, legal notice number 71 of 2024, and the land and education amendment regulation 2024, legal notice number 76 of 2024 by 21 days in order to enable the committee to conclusively consider and scrutinize the statutory instruments. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Statements pursuant to Standing Order 52(1. The Honorable Senator James Lominen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52(1) to make a statement on a matter of general concern, the need for affirmative action to increase the representation of marginalized and underrepresented communities in the public service. Mr. Speaker, despite the Public Service Commission's effort to improve inclusivity, much work remains. The Kenya Constitution in Article 54 and 56 mandates affirmative action and professional representation to ensure that marginalized groups have access to employment opportunities. However, these measures have not been adequately implemented for Turkana County and other similarly marginalized communities. Mr. Speaker, sir, Turkana County is one of the largest counties in Kenya with a population of 926,976 people, according to the 2019 census. Despite its size and the potential of its people, Turkana County is significantly underrepresented in national government positions and the public service. This underrepresentation hampers the growth and development of the region and perpetuates economic disparities, causing the community to lag behind others due to inequality in national affairs. Mr. Speaker, sir, recent data reveals significant imbalance in the representation of various communities in public service. Out of 252,007 civil servants employed by the Public Service Commission, some of the marginalized communities, including the Konso, Daalo, Makonde, Awer, Wayu, El Molo, Ogaden, Suba, Torobos, James, Taveta, Burji, Porana, Gabra, Rendile, Gara, Tasanash, Somali, Sakuye, Maasai, Turkana, Samburu, and Pokot have been marginalized and are represented. In contrast, some other communities account for nearly half of all the civil servants, holding 96 to 48 positions. These statistics highlight a systematic issue that requires urgent corrective measures. Mr. Speaker, this underrepresentation has a ripple effect on aforementioned communities, exacerbating poverty and limiting access to opportunities that could lead to other economic and social development. The lack of representation in national institutions contributes to a cycle of deprivation that affects generations. Kenya cannot effectively tackle its national poverty index without implementing affirmative measures to include these underrepresented communities in opportunities. Mr. Speaker, sir, noting the need to advocate for an inclusive and prosperous Kenya, I urge the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration to, in conjunction with the relevant government institution, consider undertaking the following actions to look into this matter. 1. Review employment policies to ensure that public service recruitment processes are equitable and provide fair consideration to individuals from marginalized and underrepresented communities mentioned above. 2. Establish or implement clear affirmative action targets and measures to increase the representation of marginalized and underrepresented in public service roles. 3. Promote active participation by encouraging individuals from the marginalized and underrepresented communities to participate in public service recruitment through outreach and information campaign. And finally, develop robust mechanisms for monitoring and reporting on the progress of affirmative action initiative to maintain transparency and accountability. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1. The Honorable Senator Maruma. Senator for Turkana. I'm told you have another statement under Standing Order 52. So, at what juncture do you wish to give it? Tomorrow?
Now, sir.
Then proceed.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52-1, to make a statement on a matter of a countrywide and general topical concern, namely the need to recruit additional national police service (NPRs) in banditry prone areas of Turkana County, particularly the areas along the international border and internal border areas in Turkana East and Turkana South sub-county. prevailing shortfall and to guarantee the safety and well-being of the communities in Turkana.